seeing from your boys?
Receivers? We're low in numbers, but we're high in spirit and effort. And the guys they're fighting, and I appreciate every single one of them. The energy is really high. We're executing at a high level. There's still some little wrinkles we got to iron out as far as little techniques and assignments, stuff like that. But the number one thing I asked of them, they're giving, which is effort and energy. So hopefully that keeps up.
Do you feel like you have the playmakers you need, or you looking to add more in the
well,
fall,
you can always have more, but I think we have enough to win games with right now. And obviously our goal is to just build upon that and always put the best guys on the field. But we definitely have a good handful of guys that I think are great players that will do great for us here. So.
When you came in, did you watch a lot of film to kind of determine maybe a pecking order or anything, or are you kind of looking at this as like a fresh slate?
I watched film, but not a lot, and it was more just to see what guys' skill set were, not who the best guy is. It was just what their strong suit was at that position, and so. But I had intentions on doing that so that I could just get a clean slate and find out who's living up to what my expectations are. So.
We saw Mike with the long ball draw, but otherwise it sounds like he's had a pretty good spring.
He's doing a great job. He's leading the group clearly. He's the alpha, and he's the one that gets all the receivers together and does a little bit of extra work and in the meeting room and here on the field. So I've been very pleased with what he's brought.
What has Tarek Buchanan brought?
Injuries. So I wish there was more. He's got an upside, and when he is in, he does good things. The issue is just making sure he stays healthy.
What's it been like for you, just getting to know these guys and developing here in spring?
Awesome. I'm coming into my own. They're getting to know what I'm about, my expectations, and I like to have fun. But when we're on the field, it's go time, and I'm getting to know them a little bit more too. What guys' habits are and what their strong suits are, and it's been a pretty smooth transition. So.
When you look at this receiver group as a whole, how do they match up to what you are wanting out of a receiver in terms of size, build, that kind of stuff? When you think of a receiver, how close do they match to what you're seeing out here?
I've pretty much got everything that I would want, just not the depth of it, right? And I've got the sure-handed slot receiver that's really quick and elusive and has a great feel for the game. I got the big guys that's big, strong hands and physical, and then I got the burners, right? And ideally, you want a receiver that can do all of those things. That just doesn't come, though. So if I can get a little more of those bodies, which I think is coming in this fall, I think we'll be squared away. But as of right now, we've got all those types of guys. So.
How do you feel like they're picking up just the route concepts and what you guys are asking as far as offensively?
The ones are doing an unbelievable job. I think they've got the playbook down as well as anyone could at this point of practice. I just got to get some of those twos to take their studying a little more seriously, and I've got to spend some more time with them personally and make sure that they get up to par. But the ones I'm super happy with.
How much of the offense that you ran at Weber State are you trying to, or maybe giving suggestions, or are you incorporating any?
Yeah, there's been a lot of carryover, and that's one thing that's been really humbling is Coach Grimes has been super open, and he could have obviously just said, here's our playbook, but he was very open with Coach Roderick and Coach Clark and myself and all the other coaches as far as what's made us successful. And so there's some things, terminology that we're using that we used at Weber. There's some schemes that we're using, and then there's stuff we're not. But I think it's good because we have something better that came up amongst our collaboration. So I've been really happy with how open these coaches have been in certain ideas. So.
How is that process? What's just that process like of taking all of these different people with different experiences that you're working with and combining it? It
was an unbelievable learning experience because, we were successful at Weber State, and at some point I know we didn't have all the answers, but you feel really good about the things that you were doing. There were a ton of things that we're doing here that I wish we did at Weber State. So it was an awesome learning experience, not only from a schematic standpoint and seeing what plays work better and how to do these plays different ways, but just on how to formulate an offense. I think Coach Grimes, it started with him and he led our conversations. He didn't let everything stray off, and he kind of kept everything centered and focused. And it was just, I saw how to manage a conversation and how to have an effective meeting like that and collaborating. So it was awesome. It was a fun couple weeks putting together our playbook.
What's the most important thing to accomplish here over the last couple of weeks of camp?
Number one is staying healthy. Like I said, numbers are hurting right now just because of injuries. So number one is staying healthy. I just think we've got to stay on an upward path, though. We had a really good practice last Friday to end off the week, and a lot of times you can take a drop there. And so I think the biggest thing is just every day taking a step forward, always bringing effort and energy, those things we can control, and just progressively getting better. So.
How are the Wildcats going to do this year?
What's that?
How are the Wildcats going to do this year?
I don't know. It's a good question. I hope they do really good. I'm going for all those guys. And any school I've ever been affiliated with, I'm rooting for them. So.
Awesome.